T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Live from the Cheap Seats, and I am your host, Andrew Faubert, here to talk about the victory that we got here today. Another one. Yes, another one. That's right, another one. How many wins? Another one. 9-3. Your Buccaneers went into Atlanta, where a lot of our fans were actually tuning in from tonight, and came out with a big dub, 30-17 against the flightless Falcons of Atlanta. Yes, our cross-division rival had nothing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The only thing that they really had going for them was literally thrown into their hands, and they ran it in for a touchdown, and they still couldn't do anything. Not going to lie, they had me a little bit. I was a little bit worried there for a split second when all of a sudden Tom Brady threw it into another guy's hands, because there's this thing called momentum. And that I thought was going to come into play, but no, our playoff momentum, our championship momentum is what took us over the hump today. And a beautiful 30-17 spanking, in my opinion, of the Falcons. So before we get started, and as my dog just said over there, yeah, let's go. Like and share and follow me at Andrew Faubert on Twitter. And you can also follow me at North Sports Dynasty across all social media platforms. And also give Bucs Report a follow. They give you all the Tampa Bay Buccaneer news and reports that you're going to need. Apologies for that. 1 second. That you're going to need to get all up to date on all your Tampa Bay Buccaneer needs. So, what happened today? Well, let's get into this a little bit. Tom Brady went 38 for 51, 368 yards, 4 TDs. 4. And he got that pick. It was a pick six. Not the greatest pick six, but it happened. And we'll get into why that happened here in a little bit. Leonard Fournette, 13 carries for 44 yards. No TDs on the ground today, but that's totally okay. Godwin had a carry for 9 yards. Bernard had a carry for 3. Ronald was on the field once, 2 yards. And Tom Brady, it's on the stat board for a rush, but it was the knee. Receiving with Chris Godwin, 15 catches. That's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers single game record. 143 yards. Mike Evans coming in with the 7 receptions, 99, almost breaking the 100-yard barrier today. Leonard Fournette, 7 receptions, 48 yards. Gronk coming in and a touchdown. Gronk obviously coming in with the 4 catches, 58 yards, and the 2 tutties. 2 tutties. Loved it. Gio came in, got a catch. Same with Tyler Johnson, Brad Perriman, Cameron Brate with the 3-yard touchdown. Started off the game. And Ronald Jones saw reception, but for no yards. Our defense actually did pretty damn well tonight as well. Devin White and Antoine Winfield kicking some major ass in the backfield today with Levante David, Pierre Desir, Adams, Sean Murphy Bunting, and Shaq Barrett coming up the rear in the solo tackle department. We also had Ndamukong Suh with 2 sacks, Vita Vea with 2 sacks. Gil got on the sack department today. So with a grand total of a team-wide 5 sacks. That's right. Our defense started to pick it up. So let's talk about this game a little bit here. Let's talk about it. What do you think? Because I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, man, Andrew, this is the Atlanta Falcons. But can we go back in time? I know a lot of people don't want to go back to last year. I don't think anybody really wants that anymore. But last year, we came out of a bye. We played the Atlanta Falcons. And in the first half of the football game, they were winning. And man, they looked like they were going to kick our ass. And I kind of said, they're like, okay, we'll go 7-6 and we'll figure it out. We can still make the playoffs. No, we came out with a win. And we kept winning. And we didn't stop winning until we won the damn championship. So today, we got to play the Atlanta Falcons. And we were winning. And then we tied it up. And then they made it close. They didn't tie up. But then all of a sudden, we kicked it into, say, our overdrive. We got over the hump and we won the game. It was not necessarily dominance that you would particularly say of a 55-14 spanking. No, but we threw the ball into their hands. They ran it in for a touchdown. Some teams literally do not come out of that slump. We're not like every other team. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are way different now. We came out of the bye. We've lost a game. We've had close games. We've won the last couple of games. But now it seems like we're actually starting to become what we were last year around this time. This is Tampa Bay now. And now hear me out. Last year around this time, we had 3 games left. We're going to have 5. We're basically in the gear of it. We're starting to play the championship football that we need to start playing. We had and will still have the 3-headed monster in the backfield. Jamel Dean went down with a concussion. It means he's going to be out for a little bit, but he's not going to be out for too long. Obviously, we hope that it does not hurt his neurotical brain. Whatever, you know what I mean, the CTE. But we got the 3-headed monster. They're healing up right before the playoffs. This Antonio Brown situation we'll get into here in a little bit has happened, but he will be back right before the playoffs, provided he's not released. We'll get some more depth with Mike Edwards coming back. Some other injured players who we are going to just need for depth, like having Gronk with 2 tutties is absolutely awesome. We are back, and we are getting into the championship mode that we were last year. And we didn't know we were in the championship mode last year around this time. No, we still thought we were maybe, maybe we're a playoff team. Can we even compete in the playoffs? I liked what I saw last year. It was amazing. But a lot of people, including a few people at Bucksport, were like, let's stay hesitant until we actually get to the playoffs and see who we're playing. I kept my mouth quiet. Not saying a damn thing. I ain't pissing off no sports gods. Nope. Until we were holding that banner over. And we did. And we do. Do you not get the feeling that it's starting to kind of peak up a little bit? We can loosen up. Obviously, we want to make sure that every single game is ours from now on. We want to keep winning these games. We do not want to lose. Doesn't seem like we're going to. This seems to be on the right track that we were looking at last year. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are looking the part. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans like 250 yards combined, essentially. If one does not get in the ball, the other's getting the ball. If both of those guys aren't getting the ball, we can throw it to a plethora of other people. When Antonio Brown comes in, we've seen what he can do being the third option. The only reason Tyler Johnson is not seeing the ball as much right now is because he's not a proven commodity to Tom Brady. He has to throw it to Chris Godwin. He has to throw it to Mike Evans because he knows their abilities. He's not there trying to develop the abilities of Tyler Johnson. When he is asked to make a catch or make a play, he's going to buck up and get into himself and get into that play. And that's what he's done. He didn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet today, no. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did things a little bit differently. You didn't hear Brady going, "Hot!" It's the offensive line knew the cadence. They knew the timing. They knew everything. Because they know it was going to be loud. And what have I said? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they haven't done that great in stadiums, in other people's stadiums where it gets loud. And they know that. And Tom Brady wants to have the ability to go into the playoffs in a home field advantage so that he can tell the fans, "Shut up." And it actually kind of worked. We are in that playoff mode right now. Look at our defense. Vita Vea starting to get sacks. Ndamukong Suh starting to get sacks. Shaq Barrett's in the backfield almost every single time. Our three-headed monster is still there. Devin White is picking up what Levante David can't do or isn't able to be on the field and do. Levante David's picking up what Devin White can't get to. Antoine Winfield is kicking some ass. Jordan Whitehead is some of the greatest I've ever seen. We're getting there. We're getting back into it. And I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are starting to realize that. And now hear me out. In hockey, this has happened a little bit in the last few years. Teams take a little bit of a break at the beginning of the season when they know that they're a good team so that they can keep a bunch of momentum and stamina for the last little bit of the home stretch and into the playoffs because they like to play that way. They like to play the meaningful games. They don't like to just play for points and then get to the meaningful games. Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not play great football at the beginning of this season. They have started to play really great football now. I'm not saying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers themselves said, "Let's just take a break. We don't need the first 7 weeks. We just need the last 9 or 11 in this case." No. They still got to win games. It's a shortened season. You don't have 84 or 82 games thrown at you at your disposal. No. But what they understand now is to win. They understand what they need to do now to win. Atlanta Falcons are 5-6. Oh, Andrew, but it's the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, no. What are the Atlanta Falcons going to do? They're not even a playoff team. You're right. You are right. Get this to get back in here. The Atlanta Falcons. Oh, did I make it worse? Oh, there it is. The Atlanta Falcons are not a playoff team. But you know what they are? Close. You know who else is not technically a playoff team? And if you go back far enough on this network, you can hear a lot of people on a certain show tearing apart the Miami Dolphins. And me sitting back and kind of agreeing, but also saying, if they were just given a little bit of time and somebody lets a quarterback actually develop, see what can happen, you can possibly see that Miami, even though it's sitting at 13th and 6-7 at the bottom of that pack, is technically only a game out from 4th place in the AFC. So is Atlanta a playoff team? Not technically in our minds, but by the standings in the NFC now, even after this loss, before all of these other games are complete, these late night games and tomorrow, but even though that's an AFC matchup, Atlanta sitting at 11th at 5-7, 1 game out of 6th place. Okay? Oh, Andrew, but that doesn't mean they're going to be a good playoff team. That didn't mean Washington was going to be a good playoff team last year either. And guess what? They almost beat us in the playoffs last year, and they beat us a couple of weeks ago. And now we're on a pretty damn hot streak. Why? Because Taylor Heineke got the win against us, and that lit the spark under his ass. There's only one team right now that I don't want to play in the playoffs again right now, and that's the Washington football team. Maybe the Green Bay Packers. I don't want none of that. And you, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, shouldn't be laughing at it, be like, oh, it's just Washington, Andrew. Like, oh, we can get over it. Yeah, we got over it last year. I don't want to have to do that again. And it goes against what I say when I say I want to play good teams and I want the teams that we're playing to be fully healthy and fully competitive. I get it. But here's the thing. You look at the playoff scenario right now in the NFC. Arizona's number 1, Green Bay is number 2. We're sitting at number 3. Dallas 4, the Rams 5, Washington 6, San Fran 7th. Philadelphia is in 8th. Let's take it. The Eagles are in 8th. Minnesota's in 9th because they couldn't beat the damn Lions today. My co-host has had a heart attack today. His family has had a heart attack. Send your prayers to the Loosemores because they got Michigan in the playoffs, which probably gave them their first stroke and their first heart attack. And then all of a sudden, Detroit came out of nowhere with Amon-Ra St. Brown, which Alex has been hyping this guy for the whole season, gets the game-winning touchdown. Are you kidding me? This boy, that boy better be alive. Minnesota lost to Detroit today, basically allowing a lot of teams like New Orleans, Atlanta, and Carolina, all in our division, to sit there at 5-7 and have a chance at the playoffs. Are we all in understanding what that kind of means? Doesn't matter if we think a team is bad. Sure, they can have some bad games. Sure, they can have some good games. But when it all mixes together, say towards the end of the season, and if they make it into the playoffs, these are some of the teams that I do not want to play because you don't necessarily know who you're playing. Is Matt Ryan going to be the MVP caliber Matt Ryan? If Cam Newton decides to go in and stuff like that, is he going to be the 15-1 Cam Newton from a few seasons ago? Make it to the Super Bowl? What about the New Orleans Saints? What if Jameis Winston all of a sudden comes out of nowhere, he heals way faster, like we've seen some players do, and all of a sudden the New Orleans Saints get a shot at us at the NFC Conference Finals? These are situations that can happen. There's also situations where you can see us having to play Kirk damn Cousins. The same guy that we started the, you like that, except with a different team. These are things that we are going to have to possibly live with. We are going to the playoffs. We're 9-3. It's awesome. I love this. This is a great time to be Buccaneer fans right now. If you're not happy to be 9-3 and you just want to, pardon my language, but if you want to bitch, go be a Texan fan. Go be a Jaguar fan. Go be in, what is that, AFC South? Go be a fan of that. Because honestly, this is fun. Throwing, what did Tom Brady, maybe Tom Brady just wanted to give him 7 points. Who the hell knows? Who knows? But this is fun. This is dominance. This is exactly what I want to see. Leonard Fournette eating. Can I pat myself on the back for saying that at the beginning of the season when everyone said that the running back problem situation is a problem? And I said there's 3 ways to fix this. Go draft one later on. Go sign one after the whole full season. Or just let Fournette eat. And man, has Tom Brady let this guy eat. He's passed him the ball. Leonard Fournette's worked on that pass catching. And he just looks like a bulkier James White. He's just so fun to see Leonard Fournette now when the ball is being thrown towards him and he just catches it and there's no issue. You know he's going to go for a couple of yards. People in fantasy, oh man, don't even get me started on the fantasy relevance of Leonard Fournette right now. In Dynasty, people were trying to just give him to me. And I was like, I don't want this guy I would kill to have him on my team right now. This team is fun. And this team is starting to finally kick it into the right gear. And if you can't see that, you can't get aboard with that. I don't understand what you're not seeing. Yeah, we threw a pick today. So what? Yeah, we let a couple of bad things happen. So what? We won the game within the game. we outweighed the goods or outweighed the bads with the goods. That's how you win the games. That's how we're 9-3. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 9-3. 2 years ago, we were not even having this. We said we would have been 9-3. We would have been like, okay, well, we're going to lose the next 4 games and probably like make it. We're not going to be getting a wild card season. Now it's like, all right, let's get home field advantage all the way to the Super Bowl. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. And that's exactly what all the fans should be hoping for here. You know what else you should be hoping for here? Check this out. I did a little bit of digging. I'm sure somebody's put this stat up there already. I'm sure. I haven't looked at Twitter. I got kids. I've been actually doing things around the house a little bit. So I don't get full time to get, fully prepared for the show. I try to do my best. And I appreciate all the viewers and all the likes and all the comments. I haven't even gone into the comments yet. And I'm going to dive into you guys soon. I promise. We got 5 games left. 5 games left of this season. Okay. Tom Brady right now has 3,771 yards passing. And we have 5 games left. These 5 games are against the Bills, the Saints, 2 against the Panthers, and the Jets. Oh, my goodness gracious. So basically, our division and Brady's old division. Brady right now has to average 341.2 yards per game to break Peyton Manning's single season record of 5,477 yards in a single season. Do we think he's actually getting it? Because I sure as hell do. And then, of course, people are going to, but, he did it in 17 games where it's Peyton Manning. And they'll have the asterisk on it. I agree. But that's why I think Brady will be the first person to ever get 5,500 yards, and no one will ever talk about that stat. It'll be the most yards of all time. And then people will be like, oh, yeah, but what about that? Nope. 5,500 yards. I didn't see Peyton Manning getting 5,500 yards. Yeah, but he got 4,000. He basically was Adrian Peterson was 8 yards off of the rushing title, but it still doesn't mean he has a rushing title. So I don't want to hear it. I think he's going to get it. Godwin and Evans are basically guaranteed 1,000 yards. Lenny's got like 665 for rushing. Lenny's going to have 1,000 scrimmage yards, maybe like 1,500 yards by the end of the season. Do you honestly, to all my Buccaneer fans out there, the fans who are watching this show right now, you have 5 games left. I personally think Brady is going to have to throw it a little bit more against these guys. I think Brady can do it. I think Brady could even get to 5,600 yards, personally. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. But he had 368 today. With 44 seconds left before the half, he was going to try and get more points, more yards. There's no stopping this guy. And if there's no stopping this guy right now, what do you think is going to happen next year? Or if we actually do get this home field advantage, or if he actually gets close with like 2 games to go, then it becomes a little bit different. Then you start getting on the train. Can Brady get to 5,500 yards? Can he get to 50 TDs again? It's close. I believe his total for that. Let me get that right now. I have all this. It's just in certain areas. Tampa Bay stats. There we go. So he has right now 34 touchdowns. So if he had 4 today, but if he has to do the average, I think it's 55. So he needs another 21 touchdowns. That I don't personally think he's going to get. I don't. But I do think he can get 50. He's going to need another 16 touchdowns in order to get 50. So 4, 8, 12, 16. So he does that in 4 games. 5th game, well, if we can just let him, toss for 5 touchdowns in the last game, or if we get the Jets, he decides to toss for like 7 against the Jets just because this is the Jets. Who the hell cares? But sorry, guys, but like he's going for some dominance here. Then who knows? But I think he can get to 50. I think he can get to 55, to probably even 5,600 yards personally. But he's there. He's not that far off. Like, there's a couple of games this season where it wasn't the greatest, and he's not chasing that necessarily at all. But now he has the opportunity. Someone's probably told him this already. And if he hasn't, I'm going to put it on Facebook, I'll put it on Twitter in a bit here, and I'll tag him in it. And hopefully somebody will comment on it, and it'll light the fire under his bum, and he'll say, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to throw 400 yards every game. I'm going to make it 5,800 yards. Because I don't think he can get, there's 5 games, he's not going to get 6. He's going to have to like throw 411 yards per game, maybe even like more than that, like 420. It's not going to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I am your host, Andrew Faubert. Like and share me on all this stuff here at Andrew Faubert on Twitter, North Sports Dynasty, and of course, Bucks Report. There's so many comments, so many people talking today. Let me get my, let me get my drink on. Everybody, please grab your drinks and your smokes, light up your darts, or, your whatevers. Crack open your beers, do whatever. I see the game is on right now. We got a Kansas City 10, Denver nothing update right now. So Denver I think it was Denver plus 8.5 is not looking too good for all you bettors out there right now. But I'm not going to lie. I want Denver to kind of win this game because I just want them to be in the thick of it when it comes to playoff time. So Alex Schomburg, thank you for tuning in. Says playoff beer didn't go mode. Yes, sir. That's right. I also got a different position at work. That's right. I get to go outside again. Oh, thank goodness gracious. I love being inside, but honestly, I was born to work outside, whether it's in the summertime, which I absolutely hate. I burn. I don't like it. But in the wintertime, like it is currently like minus 28 degrees Celsius outside right now, and I cannot wait to work in it. Oh, it's so cold and I love it. That's just me. I'm Canadian. 9-3. How about that? You're damn right, dude. Another one. Just like I was saying earlier. Another one. Great game from Johnny Dean. Thank you for tuning in. Teresa Batcher, who is also at the game today. What she says was at the game. It was fabulous. Man, I got to get to one of these games. I really do. But I'm glad you had fun, Teresa. I hope nobody was messing with you. Because I'll come down to Atlanta. I'll kick a little ass. I swear to God, nobody messes with my Teresa. Ray Kennedy got the cough to get off. Honestly, it's only because I know exactly what you're thinking it is, Mr. Ray Kennedy, and it's not that. I just actually dusted the collections, not this yet. I got to dust up there a little bit, but my collections, my antiques and Kim's little wand and stone collection over there, I have to still do. So there's a lot of dust kicking around and stuff, and I've just been trying to do my best here. Comment on this show, like it and share it with your friends, and have some fun. Mahomes runs for the first TD of the game, and okay. Unless I missed something, OJ Howard spent the whole game on the sideline. Yeah, I did see that, but I didn't clue in because I was I got my snuggling my dog today. We had to take him to the vet. So hashtag love for Bilbo, I guess, down in the comment section. Ew, we almost lost the little guy. So I've been cuddling the little bastard all day. Part of my language, of course. 7-0 KC. Christopher Cole says, Buck fans are ridiculous and it could be worse. How about the Ravens and their loss to a 5-win team? Though it is Pittsburgh. I'm going to just say that. I know I've even said that Pittsburgh is going to be a lot worse than what they should be. There's still a team that I don't want to play. They're not a team that you're just easily going to win. There's my favorite Falcon fan. Falcons somehow showed up. Got not much having a much better performance. O-line needs much work. I agree. But you know what? Like your Falcons have 5 wins right now, and the fact that you're even in the playoff contention just baffles me. I thought you were going to have way less. Shows how much I know. It'll be a nice ass chewing by Arians at halftime when that pick six happened before the half got his team more focused in the second half. Agreed. Ben Cornett, thank you for tuning in, buddy. Neurotic. Like I don't know the word I said, okay? Can't believe I'm saying this, but that loss to Washington doesn't look so bad now since the Washington football team has won 4 in a row. Exactly. And a lot of people have come, people have said, Washington doesn't have good defense. What does Washington have? Listen, maybe they're having an identity crisis because of all the crap that's going around in the background of this organization. It's not easy to concentrate on the game at hand when something so extreme like this Dan Snyder stuff that's going to be coming out through Robert Griffin III's book next year, which I cannot wait for. Oh my God, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to pre-order it best I can. Oh my God, it's going to be so great. It's going to be so great. So yeah, I agree, Ben. I don't want nothing to do with the Washington football team. No, thank you. We are ahead of last year now. May not look like it, but the record speaks so. Which is true. We are 9-3, and we don't think necessarily we're as good as last year, respectively. And it's a lot of injuries. It's a lot of people not thinking that, we can do this again. This is a special group of guys. This really is. David Mosher says, I'm happy. Oh, happy how we're playing. We just need to run the ball a little more because come playoff time, we're going to need it. And right now, I literally think it's just matchups right now. Some teams may be really good against our run, and we're starting to realize that. So we'll just pass, like obviously what we did against the Falcons today. And then maybe going against Buffalo, we'll run it more. Who knows? But I mean, if Brady knows that he can get this single yard passing thing, if he just keeps throwing 350 every single game, then who knows? Johnson's been dropping too many passes in the game and in practice. I don't think Brady trusts him at all. And he's young. That's just the thing. He's young. He's a young draft pick. He'll be fine though. He'll develop with Kyle Trask. Yakin Ben Israel says, in Canada, we watch rugby, mate, not Yankee handbag. I mean, it's true. I mean, Team Canada is really good at rugby. I am not going to lie. And we're starting to watch, I say real football very cautiously, but we are starting to watch a lot of soccer up here, and we're selling out stadiums. So to be fair, that was a pretty sparse stadium, more like Rage North. I love you, Teresa. King Cook, all facts. My biggest concern is our defense is struggling on 3rd and long situations. We are giving up way too many 3rd and longs. Great win today. Go Bucks, baby. King Cook, good comment. You know what? You're not wrong, because I maybe it is just because our 3-headed monster, maybe in zone or cover 3, we're maybe just a little bit too soft, thinking that we can get them with the 3 yards out from being first down, and they just push. Maybe that's what a lot of teams are starting to realize, just push. You know what I mean? So I agree. Corn Brown, thanks for tuning in, buddy. JPP did not play today. No, he did not. If I said he did play, I apologize. Ben Cornett, I'll just say this. Vita Vea is already a better DT than Gerald McCoy ever was for the Bucs. Yep, I said it. And to be honest with you, I don't think you're wrong. We've had a couple of talks about this, though, on Twitter. Tom Brady did call Gerald McCoy Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend. I ain't going to argue with Tom Brady, man. So there's that. Christopher Cole says, we just got to take one game at a time and continue getting healthy. Then whatever happens in the playoffs is a crapshoot. However, you never bet against a Brady-led team in the playoffs. This is true. People have been trying to bet against Brady in the playoffs for the last 25 years. And it's not working. Not in your favor anyway. I love that soft drink. Bucks Report says he did. He just wasn't productive on the stat sheet. Oh, okay. Let's see what it say. Falcons, Saints, Panthers missed the playoffs. Then I agree. I do think they all will miss the playoffs. I think there are better teams out there, but who the hell knows? Cam Newton all of a sudden could just drink from the fountain of youth and shave his head, or just literally come in with jeans and a shirt that says "I don't F around anymore." Who knows? I never thought Tom Brady was going to come here, so anything can happen. The Bucs started out with the Cowgirls, one of the better teams, beat the Patriots, who are about to take back their division. So that in itself is better than last season. So slow start, Andrew. More so the stat sheet, right? Because if you look at some of the games, like against Philadelphia too, at the beginning of the season, we still had that slow start mentality. I don't want to say mentality, might be the wrong word, but the slow starts happened a lot. And I think it's just because we weren't established on the running game, thinking that Rojo was the number one and we had to use him. Now that we know that it's Lenny, now that we know respectively that like what Evans and Chris Godwin can do, it's not like we're forcing certain plays on them that they're not comfortable with. We're throwing the plays at them that they are comfortable with. We're allowing Tom Brady to be a little bit more comfortable in that offense. So I think that what I meant by say the slow start is just statistically by some of these other individual players and just by the scoreboard itself, right? Kind of goes back to what Rick Hughes has said before too. If you told us that, if you said that, I think it's the opponents are given 17 points every game, we can cover that every time, every single time. But I don't want to be winning games 20-17. This isn't 1989 football. So, but that's what I mean. In all seriousness, how do the Falcons have 5 wins? In my opinion, they're the worst 5-7 team I have ever seen. And that's the thing. Is Kyle's probably out there though, probably gonna message you and be like, Kyle Pitts, yo. So they got some parts. It's just that defense, in my opinion, they got some rookies that are doing okay, but they need more time. 3 wildcard NFC: Rams, Eagles, Washington football team. Ooh, yeah. I think I'd lose a bet if the Eagles miss the playoffs. I'd actually have to open up that book over there and check all those little side bets I made, because I think there's something I got to do if the Eagles make the playoffs. I don't like that. Ben Cornett, I don't think that's much of a bold statement. Fair enough. Kyle Yacey says Justin Jefferson with the 35 point. That's, yeah, you're right. Yelkin Ben Israel, reporters asked Brady why he keeps throwing stupid interceptions. Brady just said because our motto is no risk it, no biscuit. I don't necessarily, here's the thing. I don't necessarily think the interception today he threw was stupid. In the CFL, there's a play that happened before where a guy's just running and they threw the ball at. He didn't even know the ball was coming. It just like kind of stuck to his arm. That kind of looks like what happened with this play, respectively. Brady, it's not a dumb interception. And I'm saying this lightly because I know people are going to tear me up. Some interceptions that Jameis Winston threw were like the dumb ones. And Brady's thrown some that are dumb too. This one, I think he knew that the game was a little bit closer. He didn't want it to be. He didn't want to give them a situation where they can come back or do anything. So he's just like, I'm going to try and get us 3 points in the half. So, but I appreciate you putting in that comment in there. So Ben Cornett says, Andrew, this Bucs team is good enough to beat anybody if we're on our game and fully healthy. Us Bucs fans shouldn't be scared to play anybody. I agree. And I've always said I want to win. It's for me anyway. This is just for me. I've always said I want to have a winning culture first before I start saying that I know that we can just beat anybody, right? This team, though, I do agree with you. I do think this team can beat almost anybody here, Ben. And I'm almost with you. There's just a couple of teams that if we played in the playoffs with the situation or the streak that they're on, I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and be quiet until the end of the game kind of thing. So, though, yeah, I can agree with that. Giant Dean, maybe not, but there are still Buck fans who get heated over that. It's true. Vikings gift wrapped that victory for the Lions today. The fix was in. Here you go, my division rival. Please have this win so that you possibly don't have the first overall pick to the Jaguars or the Texans. But NFC is wide. I know. Bucks need bye week. Let the other 6 team bang up each other. I also agree. Find them, lobotomize them. But yet castration. Then they can't breed more idiots. Ben Cornett. Oh, that's funny. Ronald Jones, Ben Cornett says, Ronald Jones may have sealed his fate here in Tampa after that second down catch where he didn't put much effort on the run after catch. You didn't see on the field the rest of the game. Team said he was sick and couldn't continue, but I'm not buying that excuse. See, this, I'm going to get some flack for this, I know. This kind of goes into last year. And this is a reason why I disagreed with a person that used to be on Bucks Report here about this. Not necessarily say face-to-face on the shows. I just agreed with their takes and a few other people's takes on this. I think when we drafted Rojo, we needed a running back. And I cannot, for the likes of me, I cannot remember all the running backs that were going in that draft. But I know there was a couple that were really, really good. And they did not fall to us. But we still needed a running back. And we were like, we can take Rojo in the second round and we can develop him. And I think that his mentality is if I'm not getting the carries, I'm just going to keep to myself and I'm going to make sure that I'm healthy until another team takes me on and I can show what I can do with that other team. That's just my personal opinion on what I think about with the whole Ronald Jones situation right now. Is you pulled me, I'm upset, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't have the mentality that Lenny has, where Lenny did basically the same thing, went to Bruce Arians, and Bruce Arians was like, suck it the hell up because we have a championship winning team. And Lenny was like, okay. And then we got playoff Lenny out of it. Ronald Jones hasn't hit that space. What, 2 games ago, because he had a couple of great runs and stuff like that, and technically had a better average, I think it was, than Lenny. Means you deserve more time on the field? No, it's not how it goes at all. Bucks versus who in the Super Bowl? Well, if you're telling me it's Buccaneers, I'm still going to go to my gut at the beginning of the year. What I have said, and I will continue to say, because I don't say change it. What I lock in is what I lock in, and I will just continue to give what I say week to week. I still think it's going to be Kansas City and Green Bay playing in the Super Bowl. As of right now, I think it's probably still that, but not going to lie, Buccaneers and Chiefs. A lot of people will be like, screw the Chiefs. I agree, screw the Chiefs, but I think the Chiefs probably again. I don't think he does. Here's why. The Bucs are playing to beat the strengths of the opposing teams. They need to run the majority than they do. They need to attack by air. Then that's how they approach the game. That's the beauty of this team right now, which is what I was kind of saying earlier too. I like the both of it. I like having the fact that we know when we're playing someone, who we're playing, what their weaknesses are, and we can capitalize on that. We have so much talent on this offense and defense and special teams and coaching and ownership and everything, management, that we have this ability to do so much more stuff. So yes, I agree with that. Evans is going to get his 1,000th before that 17th game for sure. Knock on wood. Obviously don't need anything happening to Mike Evans. Alex Schomburg also says smoking a Falcons pack right on. Tucker Phillips, Bucks will win the Super Bowl. I agree. It's starting to look that way, man. It really is. Zegnif Productions, Zegnif1, thank you for tuning in. Also says another Falcon fan here. That's right. I forgot you are. I don't even know how we're in playoff contention. I'm so sorry to hear that. The front office in Ashburn, Virginia is a dumpster fire. That's Virginia, right? I gotta make sure I'm good with my American takes here. I'm sorry. I'm Canadian. I don't want to start insulting people. I apologize. Ron Rivera is too good for the Washington Football Organization. I agree. I'm not going to lie. I think after this book comes out, Dan Snyder's probably going to have to get kicked out. Just something's going to happen. Like Bezos is probably like, listen, I'll pay double whatever you say. Just like, give me the team. But Dan Snyder probably loves his profit. So Caliace, also Gage Jr. might just keep him on the fantasy. Sorry for all the missed shows. Life is pretty bad to me right now, battling the day-to-day. Always love the shows. Buddy, I appreciate you because I am doing the same. Got some stuff going on here, but you know what? Being able to come in, talk with everybody here, just be able to do a show is always a good time. Anytime that you can go and talk sports is a great time to get away from all the other crap that goes on in your life, buddy. I 100% am with you. And I'm always here for you fans and all you guys out there. Don't ever worry about it. I'm always here for you. And don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I'm going to kick major ass this year. Tucker Phillips, the Buccaneers are the best team in the NFL because they beat the Falcons and they're going to beat the Bills, I think is what he means. I mean, if you said we're going to win it because we say beat the Bills, then sure. Because if we beat the Bills, I don't necessarily I don't want us to lose the next 4 games after that. But if we beat the Bills, I think that kind of like for us, it's like, all right, let's look at your resume for the playoffs. Yeah, a lot of good teams that you beat. Couple of good teams that you lost to. That's okay, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this looks like a team that people do not want to be betting against, and that's going to be one of me. Put a lot of money down on the Buccaneers if I can. Also, Falcons need to sign Cordell Patterson. At least give him a 2-year deal. Give him $10 million a year, man. It's just weird because Mike Davis, I thought Mike Davis was going to take the reins on that. Falcons have a top 3 middle linebacker. What's his name again? Was it Deion Jones? Yeah. Zegniff, Ben Cornett, the Falcons don't know how either. Even Matt Ryan is like, we're what? The playoff runnings? How? Who knew? Oh, man. Listen, like I said before, next year, if Atlanta, which I think they should, decides to go to the route of a different quarterback, like a young guy, like the Ken Pickett dude out of Pittsburgh or something like that, or was it Ritter out of Cincinnati? Tune in next Saturday. I know me and Alex didn't necessarily get a show. I had some stuff going on. Alex is sick. Didn't want to put everything together too quick. So, excuse me. So obviously we did that. But you should start tuning in Saturdays because we're going to start giving you some players in the colleges that you're going to want for possible dynasty, because that's what our show is about, but also just some players that might drop to some of these teams because there's some weird picks. A lot of teams in the top 10 could have double picks, which makes for an interesting draft. Yakin Ben Israel, that was a joke, dude. I know. I guess I got to read it, though. Johnny D and Arian said it was a dumb call. True. Zegniff Productions, Captain Kirk was heard to say, I don't like that after the loss. Johnny Dean, this team can most certainly beat anyone, especially when healthy. If some other team scares you, buy a watchdog. Like I said, it's not necessarily scared. It's just, it's intimidation. If you're not intimidated by the person or the team that you go up against, say in the playoffs or in a match, as a person I haven't fought in a cage. I've fought on the streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fighter. No. But as a person who, has gotten into some fights or been in situations where you got to just swallow it, you don't want to go in there, thinking that you're going up against a nobody, because anybody can punch you in the mouth any day. So William Michael Preeman, thank you for tuning in, says, what do you think about the Antonio Brown incident? Man, okay. When all this came out, I'm gonna be on the minority of this, and I know that. When a lot of this came out, before all the evidence was there, Rick Stroud took a lot of heat because he was one of the first people to drop the knowledge. Trying to think of that one other is the female reporter. I'm not a fan of her. She's a great reporter, just not a fan of her because she kind of seems to jump on all the bad news with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But she is a great friend with the Bucs report, so don't want to, no trashing. She is still a great reporter. But they all did kind of get on that Antonio Brown news really quick. And a lot of people, wanted to put the spotlight on the Buccaneers, and people kind of reflected it back on Rick Stroud. Like, what? How dare you? How dare you? Don't you ever? We were going for a championship. You son of a bitch. Like, no. In my opinion, now that the evidence has come out, whether he got vaccinated at, in training camp, and the whole card, the fact that he had the card, the fact that he tried to fake it, or he did fake it first, and Mike Edwards and John Franklin III, the fact that they did this, you gotta take the consequences as it happens. That's the way I've always been with it too. I'm just that type of person. Because if a lot more people in the world do that, if you take the consequences as they come, life becomes a little bit better for everybody else. In my opinion, it's not like an eye for an eye. It's weird situation. Think all is good. I think my kid just fell off of his toy or something. But this becomes a problem in-house because it's Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown had the offseason where, he replied to me on Twitter for, I think it was or it could have been through a thread. But the fact that he was going at it with fans was not a good look. The fact that he came here and he was given one chance, and now it's not a good look. I don't think the Buccaneers should release him. And this is why. When teams have gone for championships, They have been known, or good teams, they have been known to take on talent that may be a little bit risque. You know, Aldon Smith came back with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm pretty sure Ray Wright, not Ray, no, we'll go there. But other people have been given opportunities when situations have happened off the field. Adrian Peterson with the switch situation. They've been given opportunities to go back. Josh Gordon. If this is one of those situations where, you know, we're really looking at that, if you want to, sure, but you're putting, I don't want to say this season at risk or jeopardizing it, but there's a reason why Tom Brady wanted him here in Tampa Bay. There's a reason. Okay. I at the beginning of the season have also said that I think if we didn't have him, we'd be completely fine. I have come to terms with being wrong about that, and I do not want to go into the playoffs having no Antonio Brown in the slot. We do really, really good and very, very well on the stat sheet and on the points board when Antonio Brown is playing, because it gives Tom Brady 3 Hall of Fame options to throw to. Yes, I said Hall of Fame. So do not release him. Don't release any of these guys. Definitely don't release Mike Edwards. If I find out Mike Edwards gets released, then Antonio Brown's got to go with him. Like, that's just the standard of it, of course. But it just sucks that this happens. I have heard that there may be a list of players coming down from the league doing an internal investigation, but it's not like for sure. And I don't have the full sources on that. I just have looked at the internet and saw what I have seen. So don't take it too seriously. But who knows, if there's other players that this happens to, then sure. But it just sucks as a person who is a Buccaneers fan and a Detroit Red Wings fan, that the biggest stories of the season when it comes to COVID are on those two teams in the NHL and NFL. It pisses me off. So, Ken Ben Israel, when our motto is no risk it, no biscuit, we have permission to do stupid stuff. I agree with that, actually. And that actually might be the comment of the night, in my opinion. We won a championship with the no risk it, no biscuit. It's a comment of the night right now. We have permission to do some stupid shit. Bruce Arians has done that before. That's what you have with Carson Palmer, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning. AB will not be a Buck next year. That I agree with, though. That I agree with. Zagnif is laughing at Yakin. But Ronald Jones is a victim of. I'm not going to go there. My take on it is just I don't necessarily think he was a victim of volume. I just don't think he has the mentality. There's just a couple of players like that where we're going to keep because they got talent. But Rojo may be good on a different team because they're just going to give him the ball and deal with the ups and downs of what he gives. But Doug Martin was kind of the same thing towards the end of when he was doing good. So I'm not a fan of Ronald Jones. Though I've said before, I love any player that puts a damn Buccaneers jersey on until the day they leave our team. Okay? So I still love Rojo. I'm just not a huge fan of him. That's just me. Bucks pass on Dalvin Cook over OJ Howard, but both was a bust. Dalvin Cook. Oh, yeah. Sure, I guess. Rojo won't put enough effort to learn to block. He is good for spelling Lenny. That's it. Aww. I think Colts watch out Super Bowl. You're not wrong, dude. The Colts could be scary. Jonathan Taylor's pretty fun in fantasy. Andrew, do you think at some point this year the player who wears number 259 for the Bucks gets any playing time? Probably not. Bucks versus Patriots Super Bowl. I can't afford that. Me and a best friend of mine from when we were 13 said if for some odd reason the Buccaneers and the Patriots ever play in the Super Bowl, it's $1,000 game for both of us. So the winner's giving $1,000 to the other person. He would probably say, not if Brady's a Buccaneer. I'm not having that. I'd be like, nah, screw that. It still works. Osborne, Virginia is where Washington's headquarters is. Okay. Okay. So I was right. That's Virginia, right? Yeah. No Patriots got rookie QB. It can happen though. It can happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but this is probably. Patriots are playing the best football in the AFC now, which is true. They are number 1 in the AFC right now. What? And the other side of it too. I haven't talked to this guy in a while, but there's two things that I always give him props to for what he said in the offseason. And that's Joshua Cole Allen. One, for what he said about the Patriots. He's like, y'all laugh, but the Patriots probably are going to be good. I agreed with him. I said 9 wins for sure. And he also was talking about Javonte Williams, which tonight you can see. And Kenneth Gainwell, by the way, Johnny Dean did pretty good in fantasy today. Just you have to wait till 2 other running backs go down, which sucks. Wouldn't it be something if the Bucs play the Cardinals in Arizona in the NFC title game with Arians going back to his old place to win? I've actually seen a cool scenario play out where like the Buccaneers, I think if the Buccaneers got number 1 and the Saints got into the first round, that would be, as much as I don't want, that'd be kind of cool. And then the second game would be us playing, say, either the Rams, which would be really, really cool, or the Packers, which way I don't want, obviously, either. But then I've seen like going to the NFC Championship against Arizona to then go play the Chiefs would be just like the coolest way to get to the Super Bowl, which I do kind of agree with. I lean on that one. Bills haven't beaten a winning team yet. I know. This is weird. All the cons. Yeah. I saw that. I was like, it's too many letters. Carl Hardy, thank you for tuning in today. Godwin went off today. Great game. Hells yeah. Caliese, Bucs still make it to the NFC Championships. I said it from the beginning. Packers win this year, which is true. Because we still, we have the shows. I got all the shows on YouTube, guys. I just go back, see what everybody says. And at the end of the year, we have like a nice little collaboration episode and see where people were right and where I was wrong. So several Buck fans owe Rick Stroud an apology. I actually wrote my apology and tagged him on Twitter. I didn't get anything from him, but I said, I was like, listen, I'm one of the guys that was going at you here. I'm sorry. I really am. There's just one guy on Twitter who will never get an apology. He rhymes with none of none. Love you, Cal, but nope. Aw. Love you too, JD. My FC prediction was off, but the Green Bay Packers this year are just something else. Aaron Rodgers has a chip on his shoulder. You know what I don't want? Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers. That is something I don't want. Only reason AB stays for now is because Brady will have final say on it after this season. Adios. Agreed. I could see that too. I could see that. Rodgers is going to be in Pittsburgh. Just what I was saying. Just there you go. There it is. Zagnif says saying Antonio Brown is risky is like saying The Matrix is a great movie. And other news, water is wet. Thank you for tuning in. See, this is the kind of stuff I like. We got a couple Falcon fans tuning in, man. This is good. This is good. We don't hate each other. Like, I like it when my team or the teams in our division are competitive against each other. I don't think I'll ever truly hate the Carolina Panthers, and I don't think I'll necessarily truly hate the Atlanta Falcons, but I will always hate the Saints and all their fans. Fuck them all. Johnny Dean, 49ers, Shanahan needs to save his job, and this would be a job-saving move for Kyle and the GM. Brown hasn't played since October. His value is not as high as everyone thinks now. Yeah, all right. Packers will not make it to the Super Bowl. Green Bay Packers, all cornerback secondary, bad one-on-one besides Bucks can destroy Packers DB secondary. True, but at least the Packers knew in the offseason, like, let's just draft corners, because the Buccaneers didn't draft their 3-headed monster in the first round. They drafted them in the second rounds, right? So, I mean, they're doing pretty good. I can't remember the one that they drafted this year. I keep forgetting where Molden went. I think maybe it was Molden. There's one corner that I was like, listen, if he goes to Green Bay, it's going to be nasty. And I think he did go to Green Bay, but man, I personally do not want to play a healthy any of these teams, but I do, because if we beat them, it just makes it that much better. So yeah. Caliese, funny. I think Matt Ryan goes there. Where do you think he goes? You think he goes to Pittsburgh? Because to be honest, this is going to sound weird. A lot of people are probably going to be like, he would probably do, if they decide to keep, say, the same head coaching staff, I think he'd actually be really, really good on the Washington football team for like 2 years. If not, if they also decide to go a different route, go throw him on the Titans. If they don't decide to keep Tannehill there past, this year. A couple different places he'd be okay on, but still, I'll send you the article. Okay. Finally gained nothing for me. True. Aaron Rodgers to the Browns. Man, that's listen, I said that at the beginning of the offseason. And some people, I did get laughed at, but some people were like, you know what? If the Browns actually are a competitor, and a lot of people were leaning the OBJ route, and I'm like, let's not lean this OBJ route here. Let's talk about like the whole team itself, right? That's why when I first came to Bucks Report, as a fan, I was screaming out loud, like, yeah, I understand that we got the Jameis drama and we got some immature players here and there, but like we have a core of really, really good players, man. We have a really, really good core of players and we could do good. And I said that from the start. And I said, if you put a different quarterback in this system, we could get it done. And before I seen what Tom Brady can do, because now I see what type of quarterback it's going to take to get it done, I even said, give me Matt Ryan. There's no way he would ever just come here. He'd have to be released and then we'd sign him. But I'm like, you give Matt Ryan a chance to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not with the system, but with the players. Because he's had Julio Jones, but he's had Julio Jones and then really Roddy White when Julio Jones was not even at the caliber of what Julio Jones got to. So imagine having veteranized Mike Evans and a very young Chris Godwin to go at it, right? That would be kind of cool. Because Drew Brees has done damage to us, and Matt Ryan has done damage to us. Matt Ryan is not a bad quarterback. Rick Hughes will stand by that as well. And I've laughed at the Atlanta Falcons. Sorry, Kyle, and sorry, Zagnif Productions there. But I have laughed at him in the past. But also at the same time, too, I've also seen him throw to Julio Jones for 250 yards to just him. And I'm pretty sure it was twice in one season against us. Matt Ryan can do some damage. And it's nice to see that the Buccaneers are on the different end of that now. We are. We're winning. We're 9-3 towards the end of this season. We got 5 games left. We know that we're not necessarily playing for playoffs. In the playoffs, like we are in the playoffs, not technically, but we're in the playoffs. If something bad goes awry, obviously is going to be the thing that happens, but that's not going to happen. We're going to the playoffs. We're 9-3. Okay. Nothing's going to start falling off. There's too many teams on the backside of the playoffs right now. If I can get to that right now, and I am on the NFC side of things. Yes, the New Orleans Saints and Atlanta and Carolina and Minnesota and Philadelphia are all on the outside looking in. And there's about 5 games left for all these teams. Chicago, you could basically say Chicago and the Giants are out, and Seattle is probably out. And I mean, technically Detroit's not out, and all these teams aren't technically out, but we're being realistic that's saying that they're out. New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, Minnesota, and Philadelphia can all very realistically reach the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington football team. The Rams and Dallas and Tampa and Green Bay and Arizona, we can all basically say that they're in the playoffs. And all these teams that I just said are 5 teams that I said we're going to make the playoffs for the NFC anyway. So I'm going to win a lot of money on the offseason side of things anyway, too. So that's just throwing that out there. But those 5 teams are the teams that we are probably going to want to not play in the playoffs. All right. We want to, like I said, we obviously want to, but deep down we're like, I don't want to play in it. Can we just get lobbed to the Super Bowl? No. We don't get to play the Detroit Lions on the way to the Super Bowl. We don't get to play the New York Jets on the way to the Super Bowl. We don't get to do any of that. No. We get to play the playoff teams. We get to play the good teams. And to be honest with you, the team that is sitting there at 6, even San Francisco is 7. San Francisco went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. And we're like 1 deep pass off from probably winning the damn thing. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be fun. And there's really nothing to just worry about as a Buccaneers fan here. We're making it to the playoffs. These next couple of weeks, we might get a little ahead of ourselves. Some fans might come down on, a couple of these shows. We lost to the Jets. We lost to the Panthers. What kind of schemes are we doing? schemes that we're not showing our playoff teams that we're going to be doing. That's probably what's going to happen. Because we've earned this right now. And you, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, have earned this as well, too. A lot of you guys have been fans in 76. A lot of you, like say myself, are a little bit younger and we haven't been able to live that long. I've been a fan since 97, 98, 99. Say 99. It's probably a better year. I've been a fan since I could remember. A lot of people got to see what happened in 02 and thought, this is good. This is all we ever needed. We can just relax because we got a Super Bowl. We can use that in any argument. Relax here in our beautiful sun. Just enjoy it. And then we had a streak of really bad years. And we started to realize again that was not fun. And a lot of us don't want to go through that again. And a lot of us know that the way that this team is being built, that's not going to happen again. Like I've said before, we are building the winning culture here. And it's something to actually be marveled at. We're 9-3. Next 5 weeks, we got Buffalo coming in next week. It's the one game I actually do want to win. The next games after that, sure, I want to beat Carolina. Sure, I want to beat the Jets. Damn right, I want to beat the Saints. But I want us to be healthy for the playoffs. I want us to have schemes and tricks and all this other kind of stuff that nobody's ever seen. Most of all, I want us to win. And right now, the game plan that is being thrown at us right now is the game plan that we get as the fans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the now. We're winning. We're 9-3. I got Cardinal fans jumping up and down at 10-2. We got other fans. We got Lion fans. I told you, my co-host is probably got a heart attack for all the different news that he got today, Michigan and Detroit. We, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, finally deserve what we are seeing. We're 9-3. We're banged up, took in players off of the streets who are going to be Hall of Famers themselves, turned them into coaches when they got hurt. This is the same thing we did last year. And now it's working. When everybody's healthy again, everybody's gonna get on the same wavelength. When the playoffs hit, you got to know that every play matters. As Johnny wrote right here, you play to win the game. And I think Tampa Bay Buccaneers players are starting to realize that. Tom has always realized it. Rob's realized it. Mike's realized it. Levante, Devin, Antoine, our three-headed monster, and Carlton and Sean Murphy, Jamel. They all got it. Fred Moore, he's not in here tonight, but I was hoping for my 19-3 or 18-3 post. We're going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. 14-3, 13-4. 12-5, whatever it comes out to, we're looking the part. Now all we got to do is sit back and relax for the next 5 weeks. Wait till the playoffs hit on. Get yourself some fantasy football league wins. Then when it's all said and done and we get into the new year, 2022, it's going to look so beautiful when our last year's motto of this becomes the amount of championships we actually get to hold for the city of Tampa Bay. I want to thank you all again for tuning in tonight. It's been a great show. Appreciate every single one of you. Remember to like and share and follow not only me at Andrew_Faubert on Twitter. I post on there as much as I can. Looking at the time, I'll just say it anyway. I'll shit talk some people. I don't care. North Sports Dynasty. We got another Dynasty League popping off in the new year. Just recently found out at work that there is a lot of people who have been interested in getting into a Dynasty League, and they are probably waiting. They were like, what? Why isn't there a show on Saturdays? I'm probably going to hear that from them. But this is the time, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate every single one of you who have been following me, liking all the content. I'm here for the fans. I'm here for you, to talk to you and to talk about our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's a lot easier to talk to the fans because we got everybody in the comment section enjoying the same damn thing. We even got Falcon fans who are in here. They lost today, but you know what? They love us all the same because they understand, and we're not mocking them. We're not making fun of them. They know, we know. It's a great game. They had a chance. They blew it, but it's all good. Let their rebuild happen. Let Matt Ryan get an opportunity somewhere else. And make sure that you tune in to all of the content that Bucks Report has to give you, that you can put out, or that they can put out. Daily content, all their articles, shows. You can watch me, obviously, on the Saturdays, or Sports Dynasty, right there. Sunday nights, right here, live from the cheap seats. And I will see you next Sunday. Might be a little bit later. Don't know. We'll see what happens. But we're going to be around talking about the Bills game and what happens when the cold Bills of the North come down to defrost and play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have all been fantastic. I love you all so much. I'm going to go freeze my buttocks off. Minus 28 degrees Celsius out here, guys. It's really, really cold. But I love it. And I love you all. Just as much as I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's really hard to leave you all, but I must. So take care now. Bye-bye then. Love you all. Give a follow, and I will give you a follow back, and I'll give you the love that you all have given me. Thank you for the extended love and the extended show. I will see you next weekend. Much love. 9-3. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Peace.
T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.